Hi everyone, Sreeja here. Every year, maybe 10 lakhs of aspirants face the prelims by reading the same NCRT, by reading the same newspapers, by reading the same standard books, and more or less the same content. And close to 15,000 students clear prelims every year. Now, what separates these students from the lakhs who have written the prelims as well? It's not about luck, right? It's purely about knowledge and content. And in order to get that content, you grind yourself close to 8 to 10 hours every day, and in a year close to 3,500 hours to get the content done. But what about the logic, which will actually fetch you close to 30 questions in the prelims? Because if you compare the 2025 prelims as well, close to 37 questions could have been solved through logic alone. Now, how much have you ever invested in order to improve the same? Now, what if I told you, if you spend close to 50 hours with me in the month of November, you will be able to crack at least 20 to 25 questions in the coming prelims of 2026. Now, that is exactly why we are proud and happy for the first time in India to introduce a 1-month-long logical training program wherein I'll teach you how to think like UPSC. Because if you know how to think like UPSC, you can easily crack prelims. Now, coming on to the program, what are the different components? Now, the program basically have 3 components. The first one is the foundation lectures. We will have a total of 10 foundation lectures wherein I'll teach you how to think like UPSC from level 1, dealing with all may, can, wala questions, and dealing 2 extreme words, content-based questions, and many more. The second component, I will also be taking 5 years of UPSC PYQ from 2021 to 2025. I'll be detailed going through each and every question to tell you whether you have to study the content, whether how to solve the question, including logic and also factualness as well. And thirdly, one of the most important component, we will also be doing 100 logical questions in a group sessions. So I will be giving you 25 questions and you have to do it in half an hour, and we will have a 1-hour discussion regarding the same after that. Now, you can see the schedule here. So it starts from November 3rd. From November 3rd to November 7th, we'll have 5 logical sessions followed by a group session. After that, we will be going through PYQs from 2025 to 2021. And the program will finish on 29th November, followed by the Dominator series from December 1st. So this is the schedule of the program. Now, how does this program actually work? First of all, we'll be dealing with level 1 of logic in the beginning. The beginner level logic we'll be moving through the harder level in the later phases. So we'll be starting with why do we treat the statements as a positive, understanding the general and specific statements. In the later phases, we'll be going through the difficult logic, such as how to deal with extreme words in headings as well as sentences. Now, how do we do the same? First of all, I will teach you why UPSC introduces extreme words or why UPSC introduces certain logics. I will show you the different examples of the same, dealing with statement level questions and also the ABCD model questions as well. I'll be teaching you how to think with respect to each and every word and how to think why UPSC have introduced certain options or certain words in the options. Now, I'll also be showing what happens to a question when these words, which is introduced by UPSC, are omitted or added in the question, and how it changes whether the correctness or the incorrectness of the question. Now, this is something that none of the academies actually shows. Rather, we will be showing the assumptions to the logic as well, so that you will get an overall idea with respect to the percentage or probability of correctness of each and every logic as well. After that, I will give you a summary regarding the same. And the most important thing, after discussing every logic for the first 1 hour of the class, I will be giving you 50 questions which you have to solve in the next half an hour. And these are not complete questions, okay? These are just involve certain statements, and you have to identify whether that statement is correct or not. Not the whole questions are asked, rather only you have to identify that particular statement is correct or not. So therefore, you can understand whether you have understood that particular logic or not. As it deals with all, may, can, this is known to everyone. And even if you compare the 2025 paper as well, more than 22 questions can be classified as level 1, wherein the simplest logic is required. Now, all these are questions from the 2025 paper. No, it can be, single-handedly, everywhere, only, how many of them contain plastic. You can use your 1% logic. But do you know how to use the level 2? Do you know how to go with the patterns? Do you know what to do when identical statements come? Do you know how to go with the specific statements? These can be classified as level 2, and this might be known to maybe 10 or maybe 5% of the people. You can see here, these are basically pattern based questions in which when 5 statements come, 3 can be the answer. When 6 statements come, 4 can be the answer. When pair questions come, 2 can be the answer. This is a pattern which is followed by UPSC in most of the cases. I'm not asking you to do the same on the first instance, but if you're confused with 2 options, you can directly go with the patterns. Now, what about level 3? Level 3 is where it gets very difficult. Now, you have to think, why did UPSC introduce the word usually here? Why did UPSC introduce the word more than 5% and not 1%? Or why did UPSC introduce the word several folds here? Why did UPSC introduce the word encourage and support? So this is where the level 3 comes into play. That you have to compare the topic, you have to use the words and understand the relation between them. If there is a direct relation between the words and the topic, then the statement will be correct. If there is no direct relation between the topic and the statement, then the statement needs to be treated as incorrect. And I know that you did not understand a bit what I said, but this is something that you should understand, because around 2 to 3 questions comes every year with respect to this logic in UPSC, right? Now, what about level 4? Now, level 4 is where you use pure content along with your logic in order to get the questions. Now, in this question, you can see here, which organization has enacted the nature restoration law? Now, which organization here has a legislature or a parliament in order to enact a law? Now, to enact a law, you require a parliament or a state legislature, right? So the World Bank does not have a legislature, OECD does not have a legislature, and even the Food and Agriculture Organization does not have a legislature. Therefore, only the European Union with the European Parliament has the power or has the legislature in order to enact the same. And the European Union is always known for its climate friendly policies as well. Therefore, you can go with option A here. Now, what about this question in 2025? Sedition has become my religion was a famous statement given by Gandhiji at the time of. Now, what do you mean by sedition? Sedition is when we go against the government, right? Or we break a law, or we write something against the government. Now, which option do you think is where the government is Gandhiji betrays the government or publicly defy a law put by the government? We can go with option B, right? Because sedition refers to disobeying the government, violating the law of the land. So therefore, you can directly go with option B, which actually leads to sedition. Now, this is the way you have to think in terms of level 4. You have to use the content and then you have to apply the logic. Okay. Now, you can see here, n number of questions could have been solved with the content along with the logic here. Now, the level 1, as you said, might be easier. And each one of you would have been able to solve all the 22 questions in 2025 with the level 1 of logic. But what about level 2, level 3, and level 4? This is where someone has to teach you. Someone has to teach you how to think. Now, and that is why this session becomes crucial, because none of the YouTube channels or the academies out there teach you how to improve your logic and elimination techniques. Now, what do they do? They just show you certain questions and tell you that this is the way you have to think. Nothing is structured here. They'll just show you random questions and tell you how to do. And also with respect to level 2, level 3, and level 4, also in case of this one, none of the academies actually train you. And in order to solve this requires a significant change in your mindset. Because this is not something wherein you watch a session and you learn. You have to practice n number of questions of the same. That is why after every logic, we will be doing around 50 questions in order to understand each and every logic. Now, so what is the process here in order to improve your mindset? First of all, it's a 1-month logical course from this start of November. November 3rd, we will start our logical course. And after the logical course ends, we will start the dominant prelims, wherein 50 questions we will be doing every day. Out of that, 10 questions will be logical, and that logical discussion will be taken by me. And also, if you join the same, you will be under my mentorship, and I am known for my logical and elimination techniques, okay? And I'm pretty sure that even if I write the prelims of 2026 tomorrow without any knowledge, I will be able to clear it because of the fact that I have a strong base content, and my logical techniques are pretty good as well. Now, that is why you can all join the logical and elimination series, which starts on November 3rd. As you can see here, we have set the price for only 2000 rupees. For 2000, you will be getting 5 years of PYQ discussions by me, 10 logical sessions, and also we will be doing 100 questions together in a group session as well. So if you want to think like UPSC, and if you want to crack the 2026 prelims, do join the session. And also, as said by one of my mentee, Benjo, as well, this is going to be the single biggest differentiating factor. If you have failed prelims in your previous attempt, be it multiple attempts, even if you are going to attempt for the first time, through this session, you will be able to get at least 15 to 20 questions through the logics that I'm going to teach you as well. So thank you, everyone. Do join the session. The link, the description, and everything will be provided below. Thank you, everyone. See you all for the session.